Hey, what's going on guys? Sebastian here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to start selling retail on Facebook. Now, I sell retail because I can actually play around with the price point and the shipping rate. So I can decide how much to charge for the product. Not like in the free plus shipping method that you are attached to, let's say, $11 for the shipping, $10 for the shipping. If you go over than that, people are going to be like, whoa, he's saying it's free, but I'm paying $30 for shipping. Obviously, it's a fake. So when you sell in retail, it really makes a lot of sense. You can improve your profit margins because you can increase the price of your product, you can add a shipping rate, and that really adds up. Now, many people have different strategies for this, many different methods. I'm just gonna show you exactly how I do it, how I've been doing it for the past around 12 months or so, and it's really, really helpful. So for example, just to give you an example of a product that you are selling retail. Let's say you're selling a bracelet for $10, free shipping, right? So you're making $10 per item, you're buying it for $1, and you add a $2 shipping rate. So now you're making an extra 20% per sale, which is huge. When you're doing volume, that really adds up. When you're selling a lot of products, an extra $2 per sale in that case will make you a lot more profit. But how do you know how much shipping rate to use in the beginning, or if you should even use? So that's exactly what I'm gonna be talking about. So the first step is actually finding out what the perceived value of your product is. The perceived value is, how much the product is worth on your customer's mind. So for example, you have a watch, you have a wristwatch, and you go in the street and you ask a person, hey, how much do you think this is worth? How much will you pay for this? They don't know the brand, they don't know anything. And they say, $50, okay, that's the perceived value of the product because that's what it's worth on that specific customer's mind. If you're charging 100, then the person will think it's overpriced and you are charging way more than you should. In that case, you are off with the perceived value of the product. That applies to any kind of product, t-shirts, bracelets, jewelry, whatever it is. There's a perceived value for each product. Obviously, the brand also influences on that. So obviously, if you're selling a Swarovski watch, just because of the brand, the perceived value is going to be higher. But that's really important because if you don't have that straight from the beginning, your retail campaigns won't be successful. You need to figure that out. And now you might be asking yourself, how do I find the perceived value of a product? So pretty much what you can do is you can go to Facebook, see your competition, find a similar product to what you're gonna sell, take a look at their store and see for how much they're selling it. If the post in Facebook has a ton of engagement, that means that they're actually putting more money into the ad, spending more money per day, which means that they're making money. So that price point is a good way to start, or it should give you a good idea. Now you can also go to Amazon, eBay, or other places where people are charging more for a product and buying it cheaper. So once you have the perceived value of a product, in this case, let's use the example of a bracelet. You're buying a bracelet for $1 and you're selling it for $10, just to make normal numbers. You're buying for $1 and you're selling for $10. And so let's actually write that down. So let's put bracelet. You're buying for $1 and you're selling for $10. Now what I suggest you do guys, this is very important. When you start testing, I would suggest you start testing with free shipping. Regardless of the price that you choose, start selling with free shipping. And the reason is that if you start charging, let's say, if you start charging like $4 for shipping, $4.95. Let's say you're charging $4.95 for shipping. This would give you a total of $15. Now, if your product doesn't sell or is not successful, you might be wondering, is it the product? Is it the audience? Is it the ad? Or is it the shipping rate that makes people not buy? So you're adding a fourth variable to the mix. You're adding the shipping rate as a variable. So you might be wondering like, man, I don't know if this is selling because of this or that. So you want to get rid of that variable in the beginning. You just want to make sure that you don't have that so that you can actually see the other variables such as the audience, the product, the ad, and optimize based on that first. So let's say that you're selling this. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to put start selling with my handwriting is terrible, sorry. With free shipping. Start selling with free shipping so that you remove that variable from the mix. If your product is consistently selling, it's making sales, people are buying it, people are engaging in your ad, you're having good numbers, you're making a decent amount of revenue, and you see consistency, which is the most important thing, you can go ahead and say, okay, this product is selling, I have a good product, it's selling with free shipping, people are buying it, they don't have a problem. Now what you can do is, if consistency, add a $1.95 shipping rate. Shipping. It doesn't fit, so I'm gonna put shipping. So if you see consistency and the product is selling with free shipping, then add a $1.95 shipping. Now you're making an extra 20% per sale, which is a lot. It's a big thing. You're making an extra 20%. Now, if people are still buying it, that's great. You're increasing your profit. I mean, your margins are better, etc. What you can do is now, if it's still selling like before, maybe decrease the sales a little bit, but in generally speaking, you're making more profit because you're adding an extra 20%. You can go ahead and if I'm just gonna put, if this is still selling consistently, add a $4.95 shipping. Add a $4.95 shipping rate to see if it still sells. If it stops selling, because obviously in this case it's not a very good example, because you will be charging 50% of the product price would be the shipping rate. So people are gonna be like, man, it's $10, it's charging for $5, doesn't make a lot of sense in this case, right? But if it's a t-shirt, it would make sense, $5 for shipping. So depends on the product and the perceived value, like I said before, that's really, really important. But the concept is the same. You wanna test another shipping rate to see if you can add an extra $2.5 to every single order. And if it's still selling, great, you increase your profits. If it's not selling, you can go down one step. If this was not selling, you can go back to free shipping. See how it is? That's how you increase your profit margins. Now, let's say that you found the sweet spot right here. Sorry if you hear the dogs barking. Let's say that you found the sweet spot right here with a shipping rate. Now you found the shipping rate, what you can do is play around with the price point. You can increase to $12, or you can increase to $14. And let's say that the sweet spot of the price and the shipping rate is $14 with $1.95 shipping rate. So the perfect price is $14.95 plus $1.95 shipping rate. So see how it is, guys? That's how I increase your profits margins. That's exactly how I start testing retail with my Facebook campaigns. And this concept applies to absolutely everything, whether if it's t-shirt, apparel, jewelry, whatever it is, you can apply the same concept. The shipping rate is really another variable that you can add to make a lot of money, and it's still optimization. Optimization is the process of making something better by reading the data, and it's not only about which product is the best, it's also seeing what prices are the best. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions, like the video, share it with your friends, whoever is going to find it valuable, and I will see you in the next one.